AI-generated art is just exploding right now. I mean, it feels like we're in the middle of a big bang moment that's completely reshaping the creative universe. A new tool drops pretty much every week that feels like actual magic. But with all this incredible power at our fingertips, it brings up a huge question for anyone looking to jump in. Where do you even start?
So, how do we make sense of it all? Well, it turns out there isn't just one answer. There are really two main paths you can take. We're going to start by looking at this creative explosion itself. Then we'll explore Path 1, which we're calling the workshop, and Path 2, the API. After we put them head-to-head, we'll help you figure out which one is the right route for you.
You know, what we're seeing right now is nothing short of a creative revolution. The idea of turning a simple sentence into a breathtaking image, that's not science fiction anymore. It's a real tool in the hands of artists, designers, and developers all over the world. And this isn't just some new feature. It's a fundamental change in how we think about creating things.
What's really fascinating is that this revolution is kind of split into two different ways of thinking. On one side, you've got what we'll call the workshop approach. This is all about having total granular control over every little piece of the creative puzzle. On the other side, you have the API approach, which is all about instant access and plugging it into other things. It really boils down to a simple question. Do you want to build the car engine from scratch, or do you just want to call a taxi?
So let's start with Path 1, the workshop. This is really the world of the tinkerer, the artist who is obsessed with every detail, and the researcher who's trying to push the boundaries of what's possible. And our best example for this whole approach is an amazing tool called ComfyUI. So, what is ComfyUI? Well, it's this powerful open-source tool that basically turns image generation into a visual puzzle. Instead of writing lines of code, you're on a digital canvas and you're dragging and dropping these little blocks called nodes. You connect them with virtual wires, and each node does one specific job. It's like you're building a visual flowchart that shows you exactly how your idea becomes an image. Let's just walk through a really basic workflow. First, you start with a load checkpoint node. That's where you pick your base AI model, kind of like choosing a type of film for a camera. Then you've got clip text encode nodes. Think of these as your instruction manual, where you write what you want to see, and just as important, what you don't want to see. The K-sampler node, that's the real engine here. It takes all your instructions and generates the raw image data from pure noise. And finally, the VAE decode node is like the darkroom. It develops that raw data into a picture you can actually look at. The whole thing is this super transparent step-by-step assembly line for making art.
But here's where it gets absolutely wild. It's expandability. The community has created literally thousands of custom nodes. You can add things like control nets to perfectly control a character's pose, use LoRa's to inject a very specific artistic style, and you can even find nodes for generating video, 3D models, and even audio. Seriously, if you can imagine a creative step, someone has probably already built a node for it. The ceiling for creativity is just gone.
This quote from simplepod.ai just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures the spirit of the workshop path. It's all about seeing what's happening and being in control. You can see exactly how every single decision you make shapes the final image, which gives you this incredible ability to experiment and dial in your vision perfectly.
Okay, let's switch gears and look at the other side of the coin. Path 2, the API, is all about one thing: results. It's built for speed, efficiency, and integration. This is the path for developers who are building apps or creators who need to automate their content at a massive scale. And for this, our prime example is a platform called Flora.ai.
Flora.ai completely flips the script. Instead of you building the workflow, they do the heavy lifting. They host and optimize all these popular models, and then make them available to you through a simple API call. You don't have to worry about the setup, the hardware, or any of the complicated stuff. You just send a request, and you get a result. It's that direct.
And it really is that simple. This is what it actually looks like in practice. With just a couple of lines of code, you're sending your prompt to a super powerful model's address and getting an image back in seconds. You're not building the engine anymore, you're just slamming the accelerator on a finished car.
The huge advantage here is the massive library of powerful, ready-to-use models. You get instant access to top-of-the-line text-to-image generators, tools that can turn an image into a video, speech-to-text transcription, advanced upscalers, the whole shebang, really. And all of it without a single line of setup. You just find the model you need and call its name.
The cost structure is also totally different. Instead of paying for GPU time by the hour, you're on a pay-as-you-go credit system. So you need to generate a quick 5-second video clip from an image? That'll be about 25 cents. It's a very direct, result-focused way to pay for things.
So now that we've seen both paths, let's put them side by side. This is where the differences, the trade-offs, become really clear. Okay, so here's the breakdown. The workshop, like ComfyUI, is for artists and tinkerers working on a visual canvas. The flexibility is pretty much infinite, but the setup can be a bit more work, and you're paying for GPU time. Then you have the API, like Flora AI, which is built for developers who live in code. You get incredible speed from pre-configured models, access is instant, and you just pay for each result you generate.
Right. So with that breakdown in mind, the choice isn't really about which path is better. It's about which path is better for you and for what you're trying to accomplish.
So it all comes down to this one question. Is the process of creation the main goal for you? Or is the final output just one piece of a much larger puzzle? Your answer to that is going to point you directly to the right path.
If you are a process-focused creator, someone who just loves digging in, experimenting, and crafting every single little detail of the generation, then the workshop is absolutely your home. It's a playground for discovery.
But if you're result-focused, maybe you need to reliably and scalably plug AI generation into an app or an automated workflow, then the API is your tool. It's a dependable engine built for production.
Ultimately, it all comes down to your priorities. If granular control, deep experimentation, and learning the inner workings of AI are what really get you excited, you're on the workshop path for sure. If speed, simple integration, and massive scalability are your main goals, you're heading straight for the API.
This quote from a developer named Eric Tech just perfectly captures the API mindset. He built a system where the AI is just one gear in a larger machine that automatically turns a single row in a spreadsheet into a fully finished video. For him, the API isn't just a tool, it's a component in a bigger system.
So, at the end of the day, this isn't some big showdown between the workshop and the API. It's actually a celebration of a rich and growing creative ecosystem that serves two very different but equally important creative needs.
And what's truly exciting is that we're starting to see a fusion of these two worlds. The lines are blurring. These super powerful workshop-style tools are becoming easier to use, while simple APIs are adding deeper layers of customization. The future isn't about choosing one or the other, it's about empowering every single type of creator.
And this leaves us with a final, kind of fascinating question to chew on. As these two paths start to merge, what does the ultimate creative tool even look like? Could it be an infinitely powerful workshop that anyone can command, not with a complex canvas of nodes, but with a single line of code? The next chapter of creativity is just getting started, and honestly, it's going to be incredible to watch.